It's time to do some conversating. Time for a lecture. Now I'm on my stump box. Say we got the workers out here doing some stuff, so y'all just gonna have to bear with me. If you see a work crew come by or a tractor or something, or I think right now they're doing the shrubbery over there. Um, don't mind me. We know business is business. We had to get that done, so it's getting done. But that's not going to stop me from discussing some really important things with you people today. Right? Really important stuff I want to talk about. For starters, it said that you're judged by the company that you keep. Now, I'm not sure if many of you believe that, but I believe that. You know? So when it's about flying monkeys, because I'll get to this in a minute. When it's about flying monkeys, you best believe that you'll be judged by the company that you keep. Now, who are the flying monkeys? And I'll break this all down in a minute about why I'm bringing this up. But this is a relative term on social media. You know, and there's a few mental gurus who discuss narcissists and stuff like that who use this terminology to describe the flying monkey. Now, I say apathic people or apaths is what I say. Same difference. Okay? But for the purpose of this lecture, we're going to say flying monkeys. Because I like that. It has like a, you know, I kind of like the way that sounds. Not saying that anything's wrong with apaths, the technical term, but we're going to say, are y'all done? Are you done? I'll call y'all. I'll call you on the phone. I'm shooting. Okay. What was that? Important stuff, folks. Because I'm just trying to get this done real quick, and so, you know, it's getting late, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. But what I was saying was that I say apaths, and it's the same as the flying monkeys. Now, you know the flying monkeys from the classic Wizard of Oz movie, and they were the minions of the witch, the Wicked Witch of the West or something, right? Was it the West? Yeah, it was the West. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, so you got to bear with me. But you guys know the premise of the movie, okay? And anyway, the flying monkeys serve no other purpose than to serve the witch, to be sentinels to some degree, and to report back to her all of the activities of the group. You know, Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion and all this stuff like that. You know, they were to let her know where they were, and they were also going to taunt and harass them because they were her minions and to do her bidding. So that's who the flying monkeys were in that movie. But who are they in our real lives? They could be a number of people. They could be a number of people, but the flying monkeys, and for the purpose of this discussion, they'll be the people at your jobs, or they'll be people in your social spaces, you know, at gatherings. The flying monkeys will only serve the bidding and the purposes of the master or the witch. In this case, it would be your sociopathic / narcissistic foe. Because you're the target, and so the person who's making you a target. I got bugs out here. Protein. But, you know, and so their only purpose is to do that. And so really what this comes down to when you're dealing with flying monkeys is to, I always say, limit who you bring into your circles. You want to vet people in your social spaces. You want to vet those people because, see, you could have a business and these people could destroy that. You know, they can help burn it down. You could have anything you're working on in life, and these detractors will be very close to you. And because that's how they strike best, because they're right there. They have the best vantage point of where to strike, and they're close enough to have a deadly strike. So those two factors are the reasons why you want to vet your circle. Because a lot of people say I'm standoffish. I've even had people say that I put a wall up. And I do. But I have already explained to you the purposes of that wall. And there are many purposes, especially when you're dealing with sociopaths. There are many purposes of why that wall needs to be up. But many of you were raised in households that supported this type of behavior, where you felt compelled to tell all of your business at any given time. And you know, you may see the neighbors across the street and they may ask you all types of questions about your life and your comings and goings. And that was okay back then, you know. But when you're dealing with a narcissist or a sociopath or both, you want to understand that whatever you say may be used against you in a court of their mind. See? Because they'll be that way regardless. You'll be their enemy. And once you're an intended target, it doesn't matter what you say or do. They're going to try to make you a victim. And so it's best for you to be prepared. And I always talk about preparation. You know, many people didn't believe prior to these times that there were actual sociopathic slayers and people who hunted sociopaths. You know, the killer whales to the shark analogy. But there are. And these people, they sit back and they study and they develop techniques, almost like being a mental ninja, almost having like, you know, mental gymnastics working, where you're very athletic mentally and you're able to see and sense, because it's about your inner perceptions. It's all about that. Your emotional IQ. And some of you are going to have to work on your emotional IQs for now, right? It's going to take a while for you to get to a place where you can see, because you've been conditioned, like I said, in your family structures. So, you know, you tell all of your business, and sometimes sociopaths will even tell their business as a way of gaining sympathy. And a lot of that could be lies or gross exaggeration. Notice I said gross, because it's severe exaggeration. You know, you see one ant on your porch and you tell someone that you had a swarm of ants. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of misrepresented fact about what actually happened is really overinflated in their minds. These people are jealous people, and they will stop at nothing to destroy you, especially if how you look or how you present yourself makes them feel insecure about themselves. Because remember, they're the greatest thing in the world to themselves, right? They have all of you guys fooled. All of you apaths, all of you flying monkeys, they have you fooled. And you have to try to be strong enough to resist the temptation and lure of such sociopaths. Now, to me, because I'm a super empath, to me, I find it's very hard for me to imagine myself being manipulated in such a way. But many of you people are really airheaded people. And I have to take that into account. Because there's many of you. There's probably more of you than there anybody else here. You know, you have some sociopaths. You have some hybrid empaths and empaths on one end. But in the middle, you have a big part of just slow people. People who are just here. They're like cows. You know, they're either here for the slaughter or here for the rescue. And both sides are overworking themselves to try to get this middle ground tackled, right? Vet your circles. I'm telling you, it'll save you a lot of headache in the long run. Vet your circles. You know, when you're an adult, you shouldn't have 100,000 friends anyway, because you have to understand people have ulterior motives, and people are here and want to get close to you. You have to be suspect of people trying to be close to you, and you don't know them, and they haven't earned their way into your life. You have to look at that. You have to make people pay a fee. You don't just allow people into your life because you need people, unless you're in a low place. And that's another video, and we'll get to that. You know, I wanna you know, I've really been getting my hands on some really good material lately, and some information, and it's helping me in my life, because remember, a lot of the stuff that I talk to you guys about is pretty much trial and error, which shows you that I've had a very interesting life. I've met a lot of, not, I wouldn't say interesting people, but very uh uh let's just say very strange people. I've seen it all, and I rarely see good people. And when I say good, you may have a different standard of good. So that's you know, that can be we're subjected to whatever we think about what good is. You know, if I go in your house and you have a little bit of dog crap on your floor, maybe you think that the house is clean, it just has a little bit of dog crap. Versus me, I would think it was disgusting, right? So we all have a different way of looking at things when we look at it from that perspective. But, you know, there are some things that are just inherently good or bad, and they come the way they come. I'm sorry, inherently. I said inherently. I'm being thrown off by these folk out here making all this noise. Hope they hurry up. But and so, you know, I'm just gonna be real quick about this. But, you know, that's the problem, and that right there will help you eliminate being harmed. If we look at some of these serious murder cases and things that have happened, right? If the person had just kept themselves in a safer place, then maybe some of the stuff wouldn't have happened. Now, obviously that, right? They wouldn't have been murdered if they put themselves in a safe place, obviously. But what I mean is that the people that they chose to associate with and allow in these vulnerable spaces in their life. And like I said, the reason why flying monkeys are important, because I believe that if you spot a sociopath in a group of flying monkeys, and they're the ringleader of a bunch of flying monkeys, you can't befriend anybody in that group. You can't trust anyone in that group. And that's just reality. A lot of you people want to see the good in people, and you want to believe with all your heart. But you should be past that point. You should look at the news enough to realize that there are true freaking low-functioning people out here roaming and doing what they want at will. To you, to me, to all of us, to our loved ones. Your peace of mind is always compromised at your job every day, because you have to deal with these flying monkeys who do the bidding of the master witch or warlock or something, whoever that person is at the job who's really creating all the trouble and who's behind everything. But their hands aren't dirty, because your hands are, because you're flying monkeys. You're apaves. You're not a dog in the fight, right? Some of you apaves can be converted, and most of you, I believe, you know, tragically cannot be converted. And that's just the reality. But you know what? We'll fight the good fight anyway. So let's rehash, and then, you know, I'll get on about my day, and I'll let you get on about yours. Thank you for taking time to listen to what I have to say, and I think this will be some valuable information that you can really take hold of and implement in your own lives. I'm serious, right? Because I know you guys know sociopaths. I know you guys know narcissists. If you have a boss at work, if you're working a job, 9 times out of 10, your boss is a narcissist, right? How do you think they became the boss? How do you think they got to their position? They had to be cutthroat. They had to be lying and cheating and all that stuff. This is how this works, right? You have to be of a certain ilk to do certain things. right? So remember that flying monkeys are the minions of the master planner who's making you an intended target. And that person could be right next to you, right? Which is another thing. They could be literally standing next to you and you will have no idea. So you need to pay attention to people who are around you. And when you talk about your interpersonal circle, the people you party with, the people that you do business with, limit those people. Vet those people to good, decent, grounded people who are sound, right? And who do not have severe insecurities, because severe jealousy is only going to make them make you a target, or to attempt to make you a target. Now in another video, I'll teach you how to kick back. I'll teach you how to do mental kung fu, because it's just like a battle, right? You know, it's not really about you trying to win the battle to the end, but it's about jumping off the cliff with that sociopath and you having a bungee tied to your leg and they don't. And they don't know it because they're so fucking rabid and so fucking volatile and over emotional that they just lose themselves without logic. But you logically win because you go over the cliff, but you're tied up with bungee, right? That's what I'm gonna teach you guys. Limit your circles. Know the people that you're around. Don't share your information with just everyone and anyone. Right? Realize, and this is the most important thing, realize that there are people out here in the world who only intend you harm and who mean no other business on this planet but to do that in any form that comes. That could be you getting robbed, that could be someone raping or doing whatever they're doing. But the ill behaviors, right? I love bad behavior, but I don't love flying monkeys because I like to clip their wings. I got a pair of scissors in my pocket. For any time I see one, I'm going to clip your fucking wings. And then we can put them next to the fucking scalps on the mantle, right? Of the sociopaths, because we hunt those people. But you're going to start getting hunted too, because you know what? Apaths are conduits. And like I always say, you may as well be a sociopath your damn selves. Limit your circle, folks. Pay attention to the people you're around. Like, share, and subscribe to my videos, to my channel. And we'll be talking soon. But take heed to what I said. See ya.